So, we've just finished our second edition of the online EWPCC Conference. This conference this year focused on the need to improve the EWC directive. The motto was "Your Experience Matters," because the idea was that we really need the stories and the experience of EWC members and the trade unions that support them to really come to the fore and to start to mobilize for the needed, necessary improvements in the EWC directive. The EWC directive, which makes possible a genuinely transnational information and consultation of employees and their representatives. We started off again in an online setting with using Mentimeter, so an online voting. We had input from two of our researchers, from Romek Jagodzinski and Marcos Maya-Akman, who presented their research about what do we know about how EWCs function. And we had audience participation via Mentimeter, so they voted on things, they validated a lot of the research findings that Romek and Marcos were presenting. Then we focused a little bit more on enforcement, and we had Romek Jagodzinski explaining the many hurdles on the way to getting justice for EWC members. And after that, we had Sarah Heubrecht to explain to us what the EWC case law says. So about 175 examples where EWCs have gone to court in order to enforce and defend their rights to information and consultation. She gave us an insight into what is in that database, which is a resource that will be made available to everybody in the public as well, as soon as we're finished with that work. So that was work in progress. After lunch, we discussed the way forward with Dennis Radke. He's an MEP who's doing a legislative initiative report at the European Parliament, focusing on approving the EWC directive. And then we had Isabel Schürmann, Confederal Secretary of the ETUC, who is responsible for this dossier, who explained to us how we give form and shape to the trade union demands for improvement. It was, despite being online, we remained true to our tradition. The EWPCC Conference has always put a really strong focus on participation and exchange among EWC members. This is often the only time they get to talk to any EWC member except for a member of their own committee. So we managed to do that in breakout sessions. We had close to 200 people actively participating in the Mentimeter, in the voting, in the breakout sessions, in the chat. So it was a really, really high level of interaction, and I'm really glad that that was possible, despite the fact that it was yet again, thanks to COVID, an online conference. It's a conference we do every year. I'm looking forward to seeing people in person next year. The idea here is that we mobilize and spread the word that there's a need to reform the EWC directive and an opportunity to reform the EWC directive. There's a window of opportunity now with the European Parliament, with the European Commission, to listen to over nearly 30 years worth of experience to say this is how we can do this better, this is how we can make the right stick, and to really live up to the spirit of the EWC directive. This is the beginning of a new chapter, and we hope that today we're able to mobilize and bring together the voices of actual EWC members to inform the debate and the discussion going forward.